Well, I am super tired. I've been through hours and hours of walking, and my cane broke. For those who don't know, I suffered a leg injury a while ago. It's been getting steadily better, but I don't technically need the cane, but I am very nervous still walking, even with a brace. So made it halfway to where I needed to go, and then the cane broke. It was a really nice cane. I just wanted to get that out of the way that I'm a little exhausted, but I think this is very, very critical. There is no sugarcoating the reasons why the videos are now back up. And I double checked. Maybe they'll be taken down, but she is putting them back up. She put a post up to explain why. Essentially, Aaron wanted to do some propaganda because he had an interview. And Jenna was actually going to agree to it because she did feel sorry that he was hurt. However, it was for her, it wasn't for him. But the guest and Aaron offended her. And again, I always try to play devil's advocate. I really do. I try to be maximally fair. I am not going to do that because there is no counter argument. Also, because Aaron thinks he's so clever, I heard this. It's not the same thing. I heard very similar things in his apology video, which, to give him credit, he left up for a little bit, which had many, many devastating comments criticizing him. And most of them were very accurate. But he took down the video. But the things he was saying in this interview were like, oh, he's echoing what he said before. And despite it being officially called apology video, there was no really apology. He was just trying to find a rationalization for what he did. So, one, this isn't really what it appears. He's like, oh, this is his new. No, he said this before. He just made it private to fool people. Secondly, is the incredible gall to say, well, there were two sides, because as Jenna is affirming, no, there are not two sides. She just gave a very nice version of what happened. That was it. That was it. Now, I have my criticisms of Jenna because she's not entirely innocent. And I think the way she put up the videos initially was very brave, was very good. But frankly, when some people risked a lot, not me, I want to be clear, but some people did risk a lot to go public to support her. And then she took the videos down. And I get it. She has her own life, her own channel. She has to make choices. She did feel sorry because some people really shared very personal things. Those comments were filled with very personal stories. It was really touching and affecting. And I'm not a woman, so I don't want to speak on that. But it was pretty shocking what people were sharing. So it felt a little weird that essentially she censored those stories. She did apologize for that though, and we will get to Jenna in other videos. But let us concentrate on, well, the real subject here is the evil of Aaron. It is, and even playfully saying his name. I mean, the thing is, Aaron has, we've lost count. He's done this now for like 15, 16, 17 times. We just lose count that he is caught doing something incredibly disturbing, betraying people, hurting people. And then he does a very half hearted apology. And this is where it gets really disturbing. And again, I do not like what Nord did or what is doing, kind of parasitically feeding and profiting from this. However, there is one major point she made, which I agree, and is very disturbing pattern that whenever this happens, invariably Aaron will find a woman, Kelly, Rabbit, you go through this, Honig, you go through this, it's just the faces change. It's the same old routine. It's on his channel or their channel. He'll come on, he'll do fake crying. He'll say, oh, you misunderstand. It's Mike Rinder, it's Osa, and yada, yada. And Jenna, Jenna's not who she appears to be, and da, 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 da. Then we start all over again. He creates a new narrative. And again, he's very clever because right after the whole Jenna incident, he starts blaming DOA. And I want to be clear, there's a massive, major incident now with DOA in streets. So he is very clever. He sort of guesses where there's going to be more tension. He shifts attention. So now it's a streets DOA problem. That's the real problem. Forget about Jenna. Forget about it. Forget about the accusations. Forget about the allegations. Yeah, just forget. We're going to move on. Okay? And again, to give Jenna credit, I think she sincerely tried to, okay, let's move on. This was horrible, but there are more important things. Now, I don't agree with her, but at least, okay, fine. I think she was trying to sincerely be forgiving and be the better person. And we all knew Aaron really didn't change. So I will be honest, I was shocked. This came faster than I expected because I knew Aaron was going to do something again. We all knew he was going to do something again. But I guess I was stunned at how brazen he was. I mean, this interview is like 3 hours long. It's really astonishing to me, not just how out of touch or evil or stupid or misguided. You go through the list, he just is the pathologies he has, but how he doesn't hide anything. He like really 3 hours? I mean, just the incredible arrogance that he thinks there's an audience that wants 3 hours of him playing the victim. Like, I tried to go through this thing. I had to stop so many times because it was just too much. I mean, and his facial expressions were insane because this guest was like leading him, and he was like, "Yeah, that's right. It's astonishing. These people don't keep it private. I am really shocked. Why don't they just do the right thing and keep my secrets private? Because you're hurting people, Aaron. Because you're married. Because you have children. Because you've been to jail. You've had a fight in public. You've been caught lying, lying to the police, lying to us, lying to women, lying to your lovers. Just you go through the. It is by now ridiculous. You possibly committed fraud with a charity, your charity. You're possibly committing fraud with the new charity. It's like there is almost no end in sight. It's like everything you could think of: financial crimes, sexual crimes, mental abuse, physical crimes. You're running the whole gamut. You ran the whole gamut. There's like almost nothing he hasn't yet done. Perhaps one or two extremist things. Oh, but don't worry, Scoville is going to be there to fill the gap. So, it's just like the question is not for me or many people. I think at this point, the consensus among a massive part of the community is you got to go. You're not going to get any better. Like miracle will happen tomorrow. He will finally get better. But barring a radical miracle, you got to go. You got to go. This is becoming very frightening, very dangerous. He's not the only reason things got so bad, but he is a major reason. And I have my criticisms of Jenna, but it is vital for two reasons that we really help promote these videos. One is safety. The fact is, we cannot guarantee any woman that becomes involved with Aaron is safe. We just can't guarantee that. Now, I want to be clear. I want to be very clear. Jenna is not saying that the abuses ever reach that level. However, the fact is, in the future, we just have no clue how bad it can get. It can get really bad. Two, and I've been totally consistent here. I've argued with Lindsay on this, who is another one of his victims. I think there's something important here for the historical record. Because good or bad, this is not anti-Scientology. This is not the anti-Scientology movement. But in terms of answering people, what happened to this space of time where things got so bad so quickly? Well, this is a part of that history. Like, Aaron deliberately took a lot of the anti-Scientology movement and destroyed it to protect himself from things we know he did. And, I will admit I was fooled for a while. I was. And you can only try to do better and be like, okay, fine. You feel stupid. And he made us complicit in some really awful things. And instead of really trying to repair the damage, it's just doing it all over again. So there's something to be said for the pragmatic thing. Let's make sure this doesn't happen again. But there's also something about the historical value of learning lessons for the next time, because it all went bad because we gave him all this leadership power he didn't earn, he didn't deserve, and he misused it. So I think we're going to have to debate very carefully what to do next. But definitely a big part of that should be, well, the debate needs to move on from Aaron because he cannot be trusted to be a voice for any community. For any community. The ex-Scientology community is the least of it. He is just what he is. He's an extremely dangerous, pathological liar who just will not stop. So good on Jenna. I have my criticisms, which we'll get to, but good on her for standing up and just saying, this is wrong, this needs to stop. It should have stopped a long time ago, but it really needs to stop right now because it's just too much. It is way too much.